Young Blue situation, man. Yeah, let's pull that up, man. Boosie and Young Blue situation, man. Now, for those that don't know, man, Boosie, I would say Boosie is the ugly nigga on the left, but they both ugly. So Boosie is the short ugly nigga, and Blue is the tall ugly nigga. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. But so a few years ago, the rapper Boosie signed Young Blue. He was a up and coming artist. He wanted to be at the level in which he's at now, and Boosie signed him. Boosie gave him a shot, signed him, and he came up under Boosie's record label. Boosie is very popular. He is known to doing this, sign multiple artists, and all artists don't make it. But Young Blue was one of the artists that once he got signed, he already had a work ethic going on before he got signed. And once he got Boosie's backing or got Boosie's brand behind him, he took that and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? He took that and ran with it, and he pushed harder and pushed harder. Some kind of way, Boosie brother, who was also part of Boosie label, and Young Blue started working together more and more as Young Blue's success came about. And the successful Young Blue became the he feel like the less Boosie did, little to none to help him. That basically he was making his strides in the industry based on his own initiatives and his own intuitive effort to push forward. So that was his understanding because he was making things happen and making things move. You know, that's like me or anybody else. We done linked up, but I don't need your help to really bust moves. I'm gonna start busting my other moves. I just need your support and your backing. All right. That's all fun and games until the money show up. You know what I'm saying? When the money show up, though, it gets tricky. You know what I'm saying? It gets weird. Um, you get to start seeing how people really are. And I'm gonna bring up some of Young Blue music here just so we can have a little understanding for who he is, man. And I can tell y'all straight up, I never knew who Young Blue was. My wife turned me on to Young Blue music a few years ago. Turned me on to his music and his songs. I thought he was dope once I did get turned on to him. So right there, man, that's Young Blue, man. I don't know if y'all knew who he was or y'all familiar with his music. This was a big song with him and Drake, right? And he had the other song, Missing You, right? So the kid got talent. The kid was always dope. The kid was always pushing himself and always making initiatives to to be where he at now, right? But that's not the issue here. The issue is him and Boosie is having a dispute. Boosie is saying his brother, who befriended Young Blue and became Young Blue manager, ran off and basically signed Young Blue off, signed Young Blue away. You finished with the phone, son? All right. Yeah, he basically signed Young Blue away as if he was Boosie. Now, I I can understand that argument, right? Or I could understand that position, meaning Boosie is like, hey man, I signed you. Where my cut at, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's Boosie argument. Where's my cut at? You done went on to be successful. You done went on to be famous. Where my cut at? Young Blue argument is you signed me, but you ain't spend no money on getting me here. Just like your other artists are not here, you ain't spent no money with them. You signed me, but I spent my own money to get here, my own money and my own efforts. And they both right in their stance or in their position, right? They both right in their stance and in their position. But here's the problem, man. It's paperwork involved. Yeah, it's paperwork involved, and you should always have paperwork in these scenarios. So it boils down to the paperwork of where the ownership lies. Now, Boosie is right. Boosie is saying, I got paperwork, give me my money. I'm gonna sue everybody and get my money. Okay, Young Blue is right too. Young Blue is saying you ain't put no money to get me here. But here's the problem Young Blue have. Was he contractually obligated to spend money on you like that? He could show where he didn't spent money, right? But if the contract is not saying, oh, you needed to pay for this, you needed to pay for that, you need to pay for this, and let's say he didn't pay for it, right? But it's in the contract and he didn't pay for it. Well, at your point, you could hold him liable for breach of contract, right? But you have to state that before you go sign another deal. You have to prove the breach before you get into the next deal. You can't just get into the next deal saying, oh man, yeah, he ain't do what he was supposed to do anyway and just move on. See, that's where the nigga business come in at. And this is where Boosie in the court of law is going to have more power over the situation. And Young Blue is eventually going to fade out. The reason why I say he's going to fade out, because it becomes hard for you as an artist to continue to make music or give your best music, knowing that you are feeding somebody else's family that you feel like ain't worthy. And that's where a lot of artists have went away, right? Oh, what happened to such and such? What happened to this person? What happened to that? Well, once they start maturing and start doing the business of it and they realize how much of their money was going to other people that they feel like didn't deserve it, they just stopped doing music. Yeah, and that's the position Young Blue is headed for, because he's contractually obligated to pay Boosie. He didn't went into and entered other contracts, and Boosie pointed out that he didn't sign off on him leaving. Boosie has pointed out that the signatures was fraud signatures by his brother. So Lil Boosie is showing that they broke the contract, that they did the backhanded business, because Blue may have been right in his perception of the way things are going, but when it gets to that legal courtroom, it don't work like that. It don't work like that at all, bro. Yeah, especially if y'all done forged the signature. That's the first problem. You done forged this signature. So that right there eliminate any claims you would have of him not spending money on you. That's us getting caught up in that street business way of doing things, right? The minute you sign that contract, Blue, you should have understood what was the obligations that you was held to and the obligations that he was held to. And you could have held him accountable for breach of contract, right? But you didn't bring that up because you wanted to keep going and you thought it would correct itself. Well, the more and more you went, it's not going to correct itself, because the more and more you go without addressing your business, or as the podcast say, the more and more you go without standing on business, right? Shit get all fucked up and twisted up for you, man. And now this shit is in a knot, and now it's trying to be untangled, right? So then people will go on and say something like, well, black people can't always get together. And why we don't get together, why we don't stick together. Well, this is the thing. Here they are here. Here are these two brothers. As y'all see, now they both on the same level, right? And when you get on the same level, sometimes your idols become your rivals. Let me say that again. When you finally make it to that level, right? Sometimes your idols can become your rivals. Yeah, they have finally made it there. Young Blue ain't no up and coming artist no more. He ain't poor no more. He got the same cars, if not more cars than Boosie now. And that's where you see the level of respect and appreciation come in at, when both of y'all have the same thing, right? Or both of y'all are in the same. That's where you get to start seeing what people really at and how it really, and all situations ain't meant to last forever, man. I've been in many situations with niggas hustling and penitentiary street, whatever. All of them are for a season. You know what I'm saying? Every situation ain't meant to last, man. It be very few friends you have for 10 or 20 plus years, man. Very few. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that you're gonna outgrow people and you're gonna outgrow each other. But business is business. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to stand on it. Young Bleu should have held him liable for breach of contract before he signed them other deals. And they shouldn't have been so quick to get the money by having his brother forge his signature. That negated all business you had moving forward, man. And Boosie is definitely gonna get a check. You know what I'm saying? Boosie is gonna get a check straight up because contractually, man, that shit is just what it is, man. Once you enter that courtroom and once you enter, you know, the white folks' business and the way of doing things, that way you think it's going, it don't work like that.